Grossi Posse Packer Nation, welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom Grossi. And listen, I'm going through a little bit of a crisis here. You know, after posting Sunday's episode about the Vikings with the reaction video, I got a lot of responses saying, Tom, the Vikings are in the NFC North. You should be proud of them. You should be rooting for them. You should be supporting them. I would support the Packers if they were in the same position. Now, while I know that's a blatant lie, as the past 9 years have shown us, I mean, maybe they're right. Maybe it's time to give the Vikings one. Maybe it's time that we let them get one. The Packers aren't in it. I have no investment in these playoffs. So why not? But then, does that betray everything I know and love about the Green Bay Packers? I mean, do I even have a show if I support the Vikings? Do I look this way? I just feel like if I root for the Vikings, everything would be different. Grossi Posse Vikings Nation! Welcome to another episode of Vikecast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Vikings fan, but you should be. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Tom Grossi. Not to be confused with the puny man Tom Grossi's Packcast. So I was walking down the street and I heard a joke that I'd never heard before. And it was Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees walking to an Anthony bar. Oh, yes. Well, we all know why we're here. Our Vikings, Skull, are in the NFC Championship game. And they are facing the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, I'm here to break down the game. And of course, look forward to our Vikings playing in our very first and winning our very first Super Bowl. And then the Packers, they can suck it for life! Ha, 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 ha. Let's get down to the game. Well, besides the Vikings being the greatest team ever, I have mathematically broken it down why the Vikings will win. And to do that, we need to look at the divisional round of games. Now, the Eagles are no joke, right? Except they are. They don't have Carson Wentz. They have Nick Foles leading the way. Now, if you take a look at the stats that were put up by the Eagles last week, Nick Foles went 23 for 30, respectable, 246 yards. Jay Ajayi, 15 for 54, and caught 3 balls for 44. Alshon Jeffrey also went 4 for 61. Now, that offense is not very impressive considering they were playing the Atlanta Falcons defense, which is just terrible. They are the worst. And so, that being said, they still only put up 15 points. Now, for the Vikings, Skull, what they did against the New Orleans Saints is a lot better. So, let's take a look at those stats. Case Keenum goes 25 for 40 yards, 318 yards. 25 for 40. There must be some cheese in the atmosphere. That's why I'm breaking out with my words. Case Keenum went 25 for 40, 318 yards, 1 touchdown. Of course, a 61-yard bomb to Stephon Diggs. Yeah! And Latavius Murray went 19 for 50 yards, a touchdown. McKinnon, 8 for 34 with a touchdown. Diggs, 6 for 137 with a touchdown, and Thielen, 6 for 74. Now, we were playing a very crappy Saints defense, and thank God Marcus Williams doesn't know how to tackle, or we might not be here. But you'll never hear me say that ever again. So, that being said, against the same quality defense, the Vikings put up more points. Now, let's swap a little bit and look at the defenses, because obviously we'll be playing a much tougher Philadelphia Eagles defense. Now, oh God, what is this? I'm shedding. I know you might not have noticed me or recognized me in the beginning because I just shaved. Looks like I need to shave a little bit more. Or grow it out more. Skull! Now, if we take a look at the defenses this year, in net total yards, who's number one? You're damn right we're number one. And the Eagles are a respectable number 4. When it comes to passing, we're number 2. Jacksonville was number 1. We're number 2. And Philadelphia's all the way down there at number 17. And rushing, Philadelphia's number 1, but we're number 2. First is the worst, is what I heard back in my Minnesota school days. So, that being said, Minnesota, they're playing outside. Last time we played outside against the Green Bay Fudge Packers, we shut them out 16-0. We didn't put up a ton of points, but it doesn't matter. So, that being said, I think Philadelphia will have an advantage playing at home, playing outdoors. It's going to be cold, but that's okay. Us Viking fans, we love the cold. And so, the Vikings are going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles because we do have a better offense, we do have a better defense, we have more weapons, and they have Nick Foles playing as their quarterback, who is a sissy little girl. Not like Aaron Rodgers, who's definitely the biggest sissy little girl. He can't even survive falling on his shoulder without getting a boo-boo. So, that being said, that's my pick. The Vikings are going to win, and they're going to go to the Super Bowl, and we're going to skull it all over the place. Yeah. Now, for where you can find me, you can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com. That's TomGrossi Comedy. Or Tom Grossi Comedy on Twitter and Instagram. Don't pay attention to don't get me confused with the little Packers wussy baby. It's not the right one. If you see a guy in a Packers crap, you went to the wrong page. It happens all the time. You can also check out Vikecast at PACKAST, which we do multiple shows a week here on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music. Check it all out there. It's a weird spelling. It's Icelandic. Don't worry about it. So, thank you so much for watching. Skull fans, let me know down there how much you think we're going to win by. I say it's going to be a close game, but we're going to put up points. Maybe 21-10, 17-10, something like that. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack.